us books now, and our viewers out there love books. We've created a WhatsApp group, by the way, which is subgroups and amazing conversations. Join us. We'll have a link below this video that will take you to give you the details for that amazing WhatsApp group for the Trevor Book Club. So we tend to books. I thought I'd use this opportunity to push a couple of books to your fellow diplomats. And I love the fact that you're saying the notion of colonialism just has come even bigger and alive whilst you are doing this job. This book...
It's a great book.
...is a heartbreaking book, is a painful book, which I really recommend that every Western diplomat who is posted to Africa reads this book and understand the burden that colonialism has impacted on the African continent. King Leopold's Ghost, a story of greed, terror, and heroism in colonial Africa. This is something else.
I was fortunate enough to serve in DRC. I spent 4 years in Kinshasa, and so that, I mean, it's heartbreaking.
It explains why, in a big way, the DRC is what it is today. Interrupted development. So please, my good friends who are in Zimbabwe, you've been posted to Zimbabwe, a Western diplomat, please read this book. It will make you understand Africa in a better way. The other book, Pete, that I'm recommending is this one.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, this is a must-read. This is, again, to my diplomatic friends from the West. You must understand Africa, and this book is hugely important for that. It's called Born in Blackness, Africa and Africans and the Making of the Modern World, 1471 to the Second World War, by my good friend Howard W. French. It's a very important book for you to understand the pain that the West has caused on Africa. Not that becomes our crutch, that colonialism did this and this to us, because we've had many years of freedom for us to correct what colonialism did to Africa. Let me turn to you now. What books, 3 books, do you recommend to our book loving audience? Pete?
I've got 2 kind of on a similar theme actually that I've read recently. That actually one is Satnam Sangera's book Empire Land. I don't know whether you've come across that.
No, I haven't read that.
And it's a fantastic for a British. It's about the impact of empire on the UK and things that we never learned at school. I mean, actually, shamefully, I think we probably didn't. I didn't learn much about colonialism at school. Didn't learn about roads, didn't learn about Rhodesian Zimbabwe at school.
Isn't it?
And it is fascinating that now that we didn't learn that at school. So to read Empire Land, to understand some of the themes of the impact of everyday, the impact on British economy, of society, of what happened during of colonialism and the impact of empire on Britain. So that's a great, as someone working in a former British colony, to read that and just make those connections. The other book I've really enjoyed similarly is Deepo Phalian's Africa is Not a Country. Again, a similar sort of theme. These are where it covers all sorts of issues that are just so relevant here in Zimbabwe. So the sort of artifacts and human remains and these sort of things, are horrific things that happened during colonial era. The sort of white saviour complex and sort of how Africa is portrayed and the idea there's a sort of single story and there isn't. There's a much more diverse story. So it's a great sort of, again, for diplomats. So I'd recommend diplomats who haven't read those 2 books. Coming to Zimbabwe, anywhere in Africa, to read those 2.
The third book?
The third, well, I'm going to have to choose 2. Because I'll tell you why. Because the first one that I'm still reading, and it's quite a heavy read, but I'm loving it, is Banning Eyre's Lion Songs, which charts the story of Thomas Mapfumo's life and career, and it starts in Chimurenga music and works through in colonial times and works through to independence in 1980 and Bob Marley being here and through the 90s and all the Leonard Dembos and Jakartas and all the Zimbabwean musicians. That's just a great. It's not only about music, and it reminds me of my. I think I said at the beginning, I've sort of made my children listen to
Thomas Mapfumo
and Oliver Mtukudzi, and I was lucky enough to be at the inaugural Oliver Mtukudzi Festival of the Arts on Saturday last week, But yeah, they had to listen. It's been a soundtrack to their lives. So the book is great because it just tells a story, and it's nice actually to go back and the sort of role of Chimurenga, the role of Mbira music in liberation era all the way through to today. The reason I've given you 3 male authors, and I can't give 3 men. So the other book I've just finished reading is Valerie Taguira's The Uncertainty of Hope, which is quite a heartbreaking story of female trade as a novel, but a great novel about female traders living in Mbari and just the sort of daily trials and tribulations of living in Mbari. So again, something just for me, just keeping connected to people's realities has been is a good one to read.